Courtney, I'm loving the earrings today.
Thank you. I was trying to be springy, so thank you.
I don't wear earrings very much because I can't have rings or anything in the scalar field. It messes with it.
Makes sense, actually.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
Okay, we are going to interview a guy I'd never heard of, but you sent me on YouTube and I recognized him instantly. What a gentle soul. Thich Nhat Hanh. Oh, how do you pronounce it? Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, you got it right. He says, so he speaks a little bit more slowly. So we'll just.
Okay, well, tell me about him, because you have some personal stuff going on there.
I don't really. I'll just tell you a couple of things. When he says, you can call him Master Thich, which means teacher.
Thich?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thich. Yeah, and that will be helpful for you. And he came to me as he was crossing over. And he just asked that I, if I would like to assist him in bringing a message of peace to the world, because that is his goal and his purpose in life. He's asking for a moment for those listening and for us, if we can feel presence. So if we can just take a moment and feel the presence.
Of him?
Of all that is right now.
Okay.
Just notice, because he's going to teach about peace and how to find peace. I was laughing because I said, when I channel, or when I do mediumship sessions, which is a good portion of my work, I'll allow them to use my faculties and my body and all that. And he said, "Oh, this is what it's like to have feet again."
Oh my God, that's funny.
Yeah. So he shows me the image. Erik is here too.
Hi, Erik. I love you.
He says he loves you. And Erik's just going to stand in the background, but he's here. Okay. Of course, he shows up always. And so he shows me an image of a really incredible tree. And if you guys can also feel his presence, because it's really pure peace. It's the essence of peace. It's
so gentle.
It's gentle. But that is what he's reminding us of. So he's giving me pictures and words, but we're going to be sitting under a tree. And he invites all those who listen today to join us here. So he wants us to imagine that we are transported. And we're sitting with him under this tree. And we will receive what we need to hear in this moment. And we will, through our compassionate listening, be able to help others and bring peace to the world. Okay. So he asks if you have any questions for him.
Yes, I do. From the community. I haven't read any of them, so we'll see. All right. And by the way, thank you. I'm so honored to have you.
He says it's an honor.
Wisdom and
it is my honor to speak with you today.
Oh, okay. First question: what was the first thing you experienced when you crossed over using all of your senses, assuming they're all intact immediately after? For example, what did you see, hear, feel, and smell? Who were you greeted by?
So he often, I just want to explain one thing. He often talks in metaphors and kind of teachings, parables. You can experience crossing over in this moment.
Wow.
Observe the tree. Observe the tree. So we're all sitting in this tree. You are the rain which falls to the ground, which is absorbed by the roots, which grows the tree. Right? He shows me blossoms on this tree. He shows me all of the people sitting under the tree, listening to this conversation. He wants us to observe right now. He's showing me pictures mostly. He wants us to observe right now that our consciousness is able to move as we speak, meaning we can go to the tree.
Yeah.
We can sit under the tree. We can hear the song of the bird, right? We can become the song of the bird in that moment. It is through this awareness, it is through this practice of mindfulness that we become everything. The process of leaving one's body is simply a return. It is simply a return to becoming everything. Remember this process now, for you will awaken to your peace, to your compassion, to your ability to remain present in any moment, in any hardship, in any difficulty. You will be able to remain in peace. So for him, he smiled. I just wish I could convey the smile, because it's just incredible smile. Yeah, just really.
Reminds me of the Dalai Lama smile.
Yeah, and it just lights.
Innocent and innocent and boyish, kind of.
Humble too.
Humble,
but,
yes.
And I really, today, one of the things I asked him before this is that I could convey the reverence that for this, because this is, I feel very reverent and honored to be able to speak with him. You know, this is,
Right.
and I honestly didn't know him as well as I had only read a couple of his poems, but I hadn't read his books. I've since ordered a few, but anyway, he's just incredible. But one of the things he wants to convey to this person asking the question is that there is no difference. Presence is all that's needed. For him, leaving the body, which he didn't really actually identify with that much at the end.
I bet, yeah.
For him, leaving the body was as natural as a breath, as natural as a raindrop, as natural, he shows me, as a flower blooming or a bird
as
song.
natural as a raindrop falling into and dissolving in the ocean.
Exactly. It's just, there's no difference.
Okay.
Right. So we can become, the more we can become present in our life through each action, through completing each action fully, and bringing present awareness to each action. Even he's showing me washing dishes, and I was laughing because I hate doing the dishes.
Yes. No, I love it. I love and weeding and things like that. Passive meditation going on.
Yeah, I'm learning, but I'm learning that because I have resisted dishes. I'm like, oh, you know, that thing I need to get through. But one of the things I was learning is, as I was, you know, doing dishes, is this idea of full presence. When you are washing the dishes, you are noticing the water, you are noticing the soap, you're fully present to what is happening before you move on. And what happens, we're learning to tame or calm, you know, it's this part of the tree that's constantly blowing the branches.
Oh, wow.
Right. Yeah.
Beautiful. So what senses did you still see, hear, feel, smell, those kind of things? Or is it as Erik describes in his book, his diary?
He says he has not yet read Erik's diary.
Okay.
Okay. But he would be happy to. He said he could see everything. In this moment, he can see everything.
Wow. Did you hear?
Yes.
Feel? Smell?
Yes. Yes.
Who greeted you first when you crossed over?
His teacher. So he has a teacher in where he was first learning from, a very profound, he just calls him his teacher.
Okay.
And that is who had crossed over. He has been in contact with him since he had crossed over, because he realizes there is no separation.
Yeah.
And in the same way, many in his monastery now are speaking with him. He is working
Wow.
with many on earth at this time.
That's awesome. Is there anything you discovered after crossing over that goes against your teachings? It's a good one.
He smiles. Only that the body is uncomfortable in old age, and he laughs.
Tell me about it. Is it afterlife everything you expected? Is it kind of what you thought it would be?
He says, I held no expectations about the afterlife, knowing that there is no before and after. I only, so it's about expectation. Because he kind of wants to, for us to even observe the question. He wants us to really throw away, that's not the way he would say it. He's trying to
try not to hold on to expectations, because that's a very dense energy, right? Is that what you're trying to say? Or at least part?
He wants us to release, thank you, release the idea of an afterlife. Okay. There is only life.
All right.
Only life, only now.
Okay, that's true. That's what the big thing you taught. All right, what misconceptions does Western spiritualism have, if any?
He would like it to be more clear what you mean by Western spiritualism.
I don't even know. We can go to the next one then.
Okay. Well, he says about some ideas out of the West, right? He's talking specifically of the Christ, and the Christ's pure ideas are very much teaching presence, actually.
Okay. Okay. In your own words and thoughts, can you describe heaven for us? Your heaven.
Heaven is a perception. Heaven is a state of mind. Heaven is where you find yourself right now. Can you sit with me now under this tree and observe the song of the bird? This song of the bird is heaven. Can you taste the fruit? He's handing, it looks like an orange. Can you taste the fruit offered to you? He peels it. But within the peel, he wants me to observe the peel. What's contained within the peel? It is the water. It is the soil. It is us. That, so when we begin to notice fully and be present, that is heaven. That is peace. That is awareness.
Expanded conscious, fully expanded consciousness. Did you go through your life review? I bet it was a short one.
Yes, he has gone through his life review.
Okay.
There is a life review, but he would also like us to, he really, it's hard to explain, but I'm trying. He wants us to, in our mind, as much as we can, let go of the idea of before and after.
Like after there's a life review, before okay, I get it.
Yeah, yeah. Even like as much as we can, bringing presence to now.
Okay.
How can, it's funny, he talks about life review. How can we review our life now? By becoming more conscious of our thought, of becoming more aware of our speech, of becoming more present in our body.
Okay. During your life as an emotional being, were you ever aware of your past future existences? And if so, how did that shape your life as a monk teacher?
Past and future. He's making a little joke right now. He's showing me a past as a dog. He's just kind of joking around. This is yes, he has awareness of his past and future but he would like us to condense back the most important teaching of today.
Yeah.
The peace that will come through this transmission is by coming back to presence in now.
Right. Okay, but can you share another life, past or future, that most influenced your one?
It's interesting. He really has attained a level of mastery that's very, very high. I'm going to ask him if he is planning on coming back to the earth. And immediately I saw a baby being born.
Wow.
I was like, oh, wow. It looks like you have plans to return relatively soon. And it looks like a boy.
Okay. Where?
He smiles.
Akron, Ohio? I'm kidding.
It feels like back in Vietnam.
Okay.
Homeland.
Okay. So, but which? Well, let's find another life, not the one where you're being born soon, that most influenced your just recent life. I know it's in the past, but whatever. But we can learn so much from that.
Yeah. He had a recent lifetime of being he shows me very simple lives, actually. Yeah. And this is very important to understand about him. He shows me a life as a farmer, but where is this? He's had actually quite a few lifetimes in Asia. Okay. But one of the purposes of this lifetime was he shows me like a bridge. So he is a bridge of peace. The bridge represents peace.
Between East and West?
Yes.
Okay.
In the United States. And, he has brought a lot of this idea of mindfulness to the United States. And
good.
Yeah. So this lifetime as a farmer, he lives a very simple life, but it is through the practice of quietly tilling the land, offering presence, noticing the soil, that he began to develop. There was a lot of spiritual development in the quiet. And he wants people to return to this quiet. Return to the quiet here. He suggests rather. Yeah. Okay. He suggests people notice the distractions around them and mindfully choose to, one by one, eliminate distractions.
Right. Pluck them away. All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to pass along to your monk brothers and sisters at Plum Village and to Hugh Monastery?
Well, he smiles because he says he is in daily contact. So they already know how he is.
Good.
There is nothing to say, for I have not left. I am here. Yeah.
Okay.
He is transcended.
Right.
The physical body, but it's very important for many people have a misconception of death as scary.
Yeah.
He would like to correct that misperception. It is peaceful. It is a transcendence.
You just transcend your physical shell, I guess. Have you reunited with with Dr. Martin Luther King?
Yes. Fellow,
How did that go?
Dr. King is a bodhisattva so he calls Dr. King a bodhisattva,
Okay, I don't know what that is.
enlightened one, a Buddha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they have actually, and his smile, his laugh, juicy tidbit. They have been in other lifetimes together.
I bet.
As they both, the energy of peace is incredibly strong and resonant. And they came back together in this lifetime to promote the energy of peace.
Yeah. Do you have any messages for those struggling in Ukraine and the Russian soldiers, for that matter? They're suffering too, morale-wise, etc.
Yes, he does. He too knows the pain of exile.
Mm.
I too know the pain of exile, and in any circumstance, peace is available.
Okay.
He asks that both sides of this conflict, and even those observing, right?
Yeah.
So like people watching it on the news or talking about it, for example. He wants us to go within our own lives and notice conflict and notice anger, resentment in our relationships.
Yeah.
And work to address misperception in our relationships.
Right.
So he's wanting us to sort of we certainly can know about this conflict, but instead of he's showing me like judging or pointing the finger,
yeah,
right? He wants us to observe our relationships,
yeah,
and heal. He's kind of challenging people, heal one relationship with compassion, the act of compassionate listening.
go ahead.
If each person listening today, each person sitting with me under the tree, heals one relationship, and that person, so then he shows me that person begins to heal one of their relationships. It will have a effect on the whole world, bringing a greater state of clarity and peace. This state of peace will reverberate back to all areas of the world.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that most conflicts can probably be resolved just by tweaking one's perspective on things. Like
Yes.
understanding that you might have misunderstood someone's intentions in that conflict, etc. There's many layers to it.
Conflict arises through misguided words and actions.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
One of the ways to what is the word? He shows me like calm conflict or pacify conflict is to observe within yourself your misperceptions. Okay. Is the word misperceptions.
Okay. Have you met with Buddha yet? If so, did you find anything surprising?
Yes. And then he looks straight at this person. Right? He looks straight at this person.
Oh.
And as a big smile, you are Buddha. I am Buddha. Jesus is Buddha. We're remembering Buddha.
Right. Mm-hmm. All right. So how did that meet go? The meet and greet go? So I'll go out for a beer, or what happened?
No, he doesn't drink. Compassionate listening and understanding. Sending peace to the world is the premise of the meeting.
Okay. Will you come to the new earth? And explain exactly what is the new earth. Is it when we all rise to 5D or something like, I mean, what is that?
So he's going to correct some misperceptions.
Okay.
New earth is the earth you are standing on. You find yourself on new earth now. He never really used the phrase new earth.
Okay.
The earth, he did know and does know that we are evolving, that we are earth, the frequency of earth itself is raising, right? But he didn't use that phrase because he wants people to understand that they begin to access what we refer to in the West as new earth through peace, through consciousness, through compassion, through forgiveness.
Mindfulness, being in the present.
Yes.
All sorts of things. Are you planning to return? So basically, we already answered part of this question, but when you come back as this boy in Vietnam, are you going to be a monk or would you choose another path, or maybe you haven't decided yet?
No, he will return to the same
profession. Okay. How did you become you? I mean, what made you decide to become a great spiritual master teacher? Something in your childhood triggered? I mean, how did that go? And maybe talk about
it's the lineage. So he this group, this entire group, they are in a particular lineage, and as part of this lineage, and I hope I'm doing this justice how he's showing it to me, but they can kind of consciously come back.
Okay.
They sort of know how to do that.
Okay.
And he will.
It's like the Dalai Lama is that what it's kind of like all the Dalai Lama?
Yeah, exactly. So how did he know? How does one know anything? It feels like he just came into the world present.
Okay.
And his life it's not necessarily always easy. You know, he saw war, he was exiled. And so that's why it's so important that he come through today with this message of peace, remembering peace, because that is really what the essence of what he wanted to teach on the planet.
Very important message now, especially more than ever. So what was your childhood like? Mother, father, siblings? I mean, how was that?
Yeah. Very happy. It looks like a happy childhood. I see a lot of just playing and free play. It looks like he enters the monastery relatively young, like he's not very super old. I'd say he's in early adolescence.
Okay.
Maybe early teen, but not much older than that.
Was that your choice or your parents, or his choice?
His choice. Yeah, it was part of his dharma, destiny.
Can you tell me about your mother and about your father?
He flashes them. He's with them.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. My mother and father knew where I was headed, knew where maybe they didn't know the whole scope, but they had a sense of what was before him.
Okay.
This path of touching so many lives.
Yeah. Were they very spiritual people?
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
All right. We often hear about trauma or negative traits being carried into other incarnations. From your new perspective, What about positive traits like mindfulness, detachment, unconditional love? Are those also carried into other
Yes.
incarnations?
He likes this idea. He likes this idea very much, actually.
Great
Yes. Yeah, that is a great question. I never have thought about that question, to be honest with you. This is me speaking, that we all I focus on like what the unfortunate things I brought through that I need to work on, right?
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So yes, absolutely. He's showing me the cultivation of peace in this lifetime, the correction of misunderstanding will result in more positive futures.
Yeah.
And subsequent lifetimes. So it's like the development is never lost, right? Even if we're in the most, this is so amazing to me, even if we're in the most horrible, difficult situation, even if we're in the middle of it, our home's gone, or there's so many things that are happening, right? We can root within. We can root within and really learn to transcend suffering. And that is a powerful message.
Wow, that's gives me chills. Wow. So all of the wonderful blog members for Channeling Erik and also Atlanta Scalar, the folks, so many are working on their own evolution, spiritual evolution. So many have come so far, even under the most difficult situations. So you're saying that all is not lost, that when they come into a new life, that they will be able to bring forward the results, the fruits of all that hard work.
Yes, nothing is ever lost.
That's good.
One of the things he says, though, is the big smile.
You love his smile.
I just love it. I wish you could see it. Is this reminding people to not get too far ahead into this future life.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah. Because the life that we find ourselves in is a purposeful set of circumstances.
Yeah. So
observe those circumstances with joy. Easier said than done, but
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
From your broad non-physical perspective, what are your thoughts on the tendency of sincere spiritual aspirants to seek transcendence of the cycle of reincarnation rather than to exquisitely harmonize with it to the point where there is no longer any attachment or fear about which side of the coin you're on? Wow. I think these are all from the same person. They're amazing.
Yeah, some good questions today.
So a tendency of sincere spiritual aspirants, maybe like some of your monastery brothers and sisters, that decide to seek transcendence of the cycle of reincarnation rather than
at any time
here.
It was a lot of words in that, and I'm trying to, so but we got the gist, I think. So we at any time, at any point along the journey, we can choose to transcend the reincarnational cycle. We can. However, it is not through resistance. It's through how to transcend. One, you can decide to do that if you want. The second thing is presence in your life, compassion, forgiveness, peace. Because it's not like, and he wants to explain something to people. It's not necessarily that the life becomes easier, but our response, our presence within the life changes.
Instead of resisting life.
we
can
embrace
harmonize
it
with it.
fully. Yes, exactly. He loves that word, harmonize.
Yeah.
We enter it fully. We harmonize.
It's like your
We are
emotions, like
present.
grief or anger. You got to just put yourself in there, feel it, just submerge yourself in things and
Well,
keep life.
it's like you observe the layers he's showing me of it,
Wow.
right?
Okay.
So maybe there's like, if you look at some soil, right? There
Right.
might be layers of soil. And you want to go through the different layers, and at a certain point, it's transcended. It's transcended, right?
Okay.
He shows me like a plant sprouting actually out of it.
Well, I'm going to read this last rather than to exquisitely harmonize with it to the point where there's no longer any attachment or fear about which
Yes.
side of the coin you're on. So that's
Yeah,
great
that's
line.
it. Yes, because attachment is like, if we attach to a circumstance being a certain way, for example,
It's like an expectation.
exactly, and then we will. So it's really coming back to we observe, we are present, we witness, we bring mindfulness.
We feel instead of resisting and fighting and having expectations over all sorts of things, I guess.
Feel, but at some point we observe even feelings as like the blowing branches.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to stuff your feelings. You want to feel your feelings, right?
Yes.
But not have any attachment to them. Maybe is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Yes. And for example, so he's going to bring up just anger, because this will be helpful, right?
Okay.
Okay. So if we're talking about anger, it's when we're experiencing anger in the body, we can be also a witness of it and simultaneously experience it. At the point then there's a point at which we will transcend this anger. When the anger is released, we can come back, we can transcend it and come back to a place of peace, of harmony. And from this place of peace and harmony, we speak, right? So it's just kind of like observing the continuum. He does not think it's super helpful to speak, for example, from a place of anger.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you feel like you could have done more or something else to help waken the Western civilization?
I did what I could.
What can you do? You have a lot to work with there. Some say we choose to come here and experience pain and plan painful experiences. I mean, situations to experience. Is this true?
Yes.
Yeah, it's contrast. You get a lot more. No pain, no gain.
Yes, it is true. He chose difficult circumstances. Well, and there was I saw it, I forget, a couple weeks ago, but this, and he's reminding me of it, this image of a lotus coming out of mud.
Oh.
Right. And I think that might be one of his book titles. I'm not sure. He's showing it to me, the image. Okay. And okay, let's observe this lotus coming out of mud. Mud, right, in this person's question is the difficult circumstances. What emerges is this lotus.
The lotus blossom.
If we let it.
Okay. Next question. It is Om Mani Pindu. Is it a good chant to do? Om Mani Pindu. I don't know how you say it. Well, y'all look at his YouTubes, you'll find it.
Yes, well, he's talking about, so he's different, so the chants or mantras he shows me like a seed. They're a seed, and you can plant them in your consciousness. And the repetition of the particular mantra, it will assist you in like certain energies or certain ways your consciousness will grow or develop. The lotus is moving out of the heart center as we speak, but yeah, so it really can be helpful.
All right. Did you meet Kuan Yin, the female
Bodhisattva? Yes, he has. He works with Kuan Yin for sure.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Kuan Yin is the essence of compassion, which is also what he wants, or not wants, what he is. He is teaching the essence of compassion.
And peace, right?
And
But peace must be the ultimate compassion. Form of compassion.
We are taught through, my teaching was to begin to live peace, to live peace, to observe the places within you that are not in peace, to work with these parts, right?
Okay.
Anger, for example.
Are there lessons you failed that require you to come into this next incarnation that you were talking about? Nah.
I do not believe in failure, but because
they're stepping stones to success.
Yeah, exactly. And he says, because there's no birth, there's no death, and we are given more opportunities.
Okay. What was the thing you were here to learn, if anything? We know you were here to teach mindfulness, peace, compassion, etc. But what were you here to learn anything? This past life?
Plenty, yes, plenty.
Could you name a couple?
He has some, yes, he carried some anger in his heart over being exiled and pain. It was very painful, very like lots of grief and anger.
Emotional pain.
Yes, emotional pain. He's not talking physical, although it feels like at the end of his life he had some physical pain as well. But and he, one of the things he shows me is having to come to terms with this grief and anger and pain within himself. And he did find peace, but it was effort, it was work. Yes.
Okay. Do you have any regrets looking back on your life, this last life?
No.
Most of you guys at that level don't. All right. Why does it take almost 100% of positive thoughts and mindfulness to manifest something you want, but a hint of negative thoughts to cancel out the 100% positive? Well, first of all, is that true?
Yeah, he has a difficulty with the question itself.
Well, I mean, why is positivity? I mean, why is it negativity?
Well, he wants to be, okay, let's talk about, he's trying to, positivity, the idea of positivity. A person could go around and say positive things, but within their heart, they carry anger, right? That is not positive necessarily, right? So it is about living the path of peace, right? We live the path of peace by learning to go within, to get quiet, to observe. We become witness and present. And through this mindfulness, positivity naturally radiates, right? It's like a byproduct of living peace and mindfulness. Okay, so he wants to explain, because there's no criticism, but the person who's asking the question is approaching it from maybe a different angle when we'll say positive things, but he wants us to approach it differently. Okay. It's like a natural byproduct.
Well, is the natural pure negative thought, is it more powerful than the natural pure positive thought?
No.
Okay. What can we do personally to evolve into better humans? Well, we've kind of talked about that, right? Live the path of peace, compassion.
Path of peace.
Find peace in all the little inner conflicts you're having. Anger.
Yes.
Anything else?
Anger. Well, he really would like people to be stewards of the world, good stewards of the world. He would recommend, we take, it's like he shows me a a magnifying glass.
Okay.
And he wants us not to dwell or stay in the past, But if there's
Right.
something from the past that could use forgiveness, could use making whole or peaceful or right through our actions, he wants us to observe what it is, and then we bring it into healing.
You have to bring it into your awareness in order to address it and heal it, right?
Exactly. But it's very different what he's describing than, sometimes we can just get stuck in the past.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a really different process than what he's describing.
Okay.
It's like, and it's important when he's mentioning relationships, healing relationships, it's not necessary to have the other person there to heal.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So what advice would you have for teaching meditation, mindfulness to people today who are so attached to their life online and short attention spans? That's so true.
Well, that's why he was speaking to, and he starts me like turning off the TV, eliminating distraction as much as possible. There's lots of ways we are distracted, phones,
Oh,
TVs,
yeah. Oh,
right?
God.
But, that's one of the difficulties or challenges, I think, in the Western world, as he perceives it, is just the amount of distraction.
Yeah.
So we start to just, one by one, we begin to eliminate distraction to our inner peace. And then we allow, we sit, you breathe, we observe. It's pretty much.
Observation is big to you, isn't it?
Yes, because it's presence.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Have you met God or Jesus or both?
Yes.
Talk about it.
Yes. God is you. He's pointing at, not pointing, he kind of is speaking to this group under
Right.
this tree. He references the person who asked the question. God is you. You are God.
Yeah, we're a whole and part of God, like a hologram.
Yes.
But so have you met Source? Even though you are Source, whole and part?
Yes. Yes and yes. Because
All right,
he's
tell me about it.
Source is the essence of all beingness.
Oh.
Close your eyes and ask to be part of the essence of all beingness. You will observe Source within yourself. It's very peaceful.
Oh. Did you meet Jesus at all? Or any
Yeah,
other?
it does feel like he is a master, so he does work with the other ascended masters, and Jesus being one.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. What is one almost finished, standout message you'd like to share that you think is most important for the whole?
The essence of you, is peace. It really wants people to hear that, right?
Yeah.
Anytime we are drawn
Powerful.
into conflict, outer conflict, when we begin to, get all worked up, even if something is bad, we can make a choice to come back to our peace through
because that's
the
traveling
awareness.
from you. That's getting outside of you when you.
It is, and
Okay.
it really is coming back to awareness, because that is where it's just this ripple. And I keep seeing this from different beings, and Erik has shared this recently about this ripple that the world will shift if we shift.
One relationship at a time, including the relationship with ourselves, I'm sure.
The most important one, yes.
Yeah. So can you share some little known fact that nobody else knows but you? Something fun, maybe. It doesn't have to be. Like, do you wear socks?
Does he wear socks?
No. Boxers and briefs? I don't know, just something fun.
No. He he liked music.
Oh,
He shows
really?
me I see sometimes he'll listen to like rock music and stuff.
What?
And really, yeah,
That's
you
so
know,
cool. That's
yeah,
awesome.
not often, but occasionally he really likes music, different music.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think about my boy Erik? I mean, have you met him?
Yeah, he goes like this. He looks over because Eric's sitting under the tree, and he just has a big smile. Erik, he's very pleased with the work and the messages that Erik is bringing to the world at this time. He is helping many beings.
Yeah, I'm proud of him. Courtney, do you want to ask any questions of Matt?
I'm too in my zone to think of any right now, but I'm just grateful that I get to talk to him today.
We're honored that
Really.
you were channeling him so beautifully. Thank you so much. I don't know what else to say, but thank you, Courtney and Master Thay. It was an honor talking to you. It really was, speaking or listening to you more than anything else.
And
So
he says thank you. And he says thank you for listening also.
all right. Well, thank you, everybody. Y'all subscribe to the channel, please. And check out Courtney at CourtneyDillon.com. She does a lot of stuff. Bye, everybody. Love you all.
Bye. Have a good day.
You too.